How then does someone know whether or not he's actually Jewish? Well, as I've already indicated, most people who are Jewish know they're Jewish because their parents told them they're Jewish, and their family and heritage and lineage and way of life all testify to that fact. But what about those who have only one Jewish parent or less than 4 Jewish grandparents? Are they still considered Jews? Well, in Judaism, you're considered a Jew as long as your mother is a Jew. The exception to this, of course, being if you confess belief in Yeshua. From the perspective of the modern state of Israel, for example, under the law of return, any Jew from around the world can become an automatic Israeli citizen. Yet I'm not considered a Jew in the land of Israel because Messianic Jews are said to have converted to Christianity. So even though my mom is Jewish, which halakhically makes me Jewish, as far as the state of Israel is concerned, I'm not a Jew and ineligible to make aliyah. Nice, right? Anyway, so the reason Judaism traces Jewish lineage through the maternal line is apparently because while you may not always know the identity of the father due to infidelity or rape or some other such thing, you'll always know the identity of the mother because she's the one who gave birth to the child. The result of this approach to determining Jewishness, however, is that it makes paternal Jewishness, the Jewishness of the father, irrelevant, such that if a child's only Jewish parent is the father, the child isn't considered by Judaism to be Jewish. The Bible, on the other hand, which should be our only authority in this matter, traces Jewish lineage solely through the father's line in the Hebrew Scriptures. Here's a typical genealogical passage from the book of Ruth, who was married to Boaz, yet she's not even mentioned here. Chapter 4, verses 21 and 22 say, Salmon fathered Boaz, Boaz fathered Obed, Obed fathered Jesse, and Jesse fathered David. And we see the same paternal pattern in Matthew's version of the genealogy in chapter 1, verses 5 and 6. Salmon, the father of Boaz, by Rahab, and Boaz, the father of Obed, by Ruth, and Obed, the father of Jesse, and Jesse, the father of David, the king. And we see this play out over and over again in the Scriptures, demonstrating patrilineal descent, not matrilineal, as the sole determining factor. But that's not the end of the story. Interestingly, it's actually Paul who provides us with the necessary scriptural support for tracing Jewishness also through the mother. In Acts chapter 16, Paul's taking on Timothy as a traveling companion. And it says, beginning in verse 1, that a certain disciple was there by the name of Timothy, son of a believing Yehudi woman, a Jewish woman, but of a father, a Greek. Paul wanted this one to go with him, and having taken him, he circumcised him because of the Yehudim, the Jews, who are in those places, for they all knew that his father was a Greek. So Timothy was Jewish only on his mother's side, and hadn't been circumcised according to the Torah. Yet before leaving with him, Paul had Timothy circumcised, precisely because he considered Timothy to be a Jew. This is especially meaningful given that Paul believed, as he wrote in 1 Corinthians 7:18, that if anyone's been called in uncircumcision, meaning if he's a Gentile, then he shouldn't get circumcised, which is exactly how Paul handled it, for example, with Titus. So by circumcising Timothy, Paul was acknowledging and restoring Timothy's rightful lineage traced through his Jewish mother. So according to Scripture, a person is a Jew whether both his parents are Jewish, just his father, or just his mother.